I want to talk about manifestation, but not the manifestation that you're gonna hear. You just have to say the affirmations every day, 3 times a day, or do this meditation for 21 days, and then you will manifest your reality. Some people are like, manifest this reality within 7 days. And as much as there's some truth to that level of manifestation, like I want to dive deeper within this because that is just scratching the surface, and I want to have a real talk about how we do create our reality on the different layers, because there's so much around this and we could always go deeper within this conversation. But if you're like me, doing these affirmations every day it doesn't work, and I'm going to talk about why it doesn't work and what, to my perception and in my opinion, actually does work. And first, it's important to know that we are always manifesting our reality on an unconscious level or on a conscious level, or both. I feel like in my life, even in 10 years of healing and personal growth, I am still manifesting my reality on an unconscious level on some aspects of my life. And the more I go on, the more I address this, the more I raise awareness on these core beliefs that I have inside of me. But I am still operating through a certain unconscious level. And I think that I wonder if there's someone who has mastered a full conscious level. I wonder. Now let's dive into the different layers there is to this whole game of manifestation. On a psychology level, we are manifesting our reality through our belief systems and through our perceptions. So let me explain this. We all have beliefs about ourselves, about the world, and those beliefs were mainly gathered when we were young. It's information we received from our parents, from teachers, from government, from society, etc. And then we base a reality around those beliefs. So, for example, we might have registered that we are unworthy or we are unloved, or the opposite. We might be like, oh, I am so loved, I am so worthy. And from this belief, we are creating our reality, because the brain is always going to try to confirm our reality through the external world. So if we believe that we are unworthy, we are going to be placing ourselves in situations where we can prove that, yes, I am unworthy. We are going to do things that prove that we are unworthy. Let's say another one, an easier one to understand is like, I believe that I am poor and I am not someone that could attract a lot of money in my reality. So if there's situations in your life that could possibly give you that opportunity and you have a core belief, it's not about the layer beliefs that, oh yeah, I think I could attract money. It's what's in the core. What are your core beliefs? You know, those ones. If there's a core belief that I am not someone that could get a lot of money and there's an opportunity that is there, you're gonna throw it away. You're gonna sabotage it. You're gonna dismiss it, or you're gonna take it and you're gonna reshape it, and you're not gonna see the opportunity behind it because you believe that you are not someone that could attract that. And as long as you're in this unconscious way of operating in the world, you're just gonna unconsciously reject these things, and you're not even gonna realize that you had an opportunity in that space. It's when we start becoming aware that we start being like, oh, I'm realizing that I am rejecting this, and that's where you could start making actual changes and start changing these core beliefs. But initially, your beliefs around yourself and around the world is gonna shape your thoughts, feelings, and actions around this reality. So yeah, another example around this is we're often going to be in relationship with people that are going to come to prove how we feel about ourselves. So if you're someone that believes that you're always going to be rejected, you're going to probably place yourself with people that you initially subconsciously know are going to reject you. Or there's another aspect to this where we have our perceptions about things. So because of all these beliefs, we are walking around this world with a lens based on our beliefs. So we are seeing everything through this lens. So sometimes we are going to perceive stuff that are not the actual deepest truth of that thing. We're only going to perceive it that way because that's what we are seeing inside of us. So let's say we have that wound of rejection, and you're dating someone and they're not answering your calls. And because you have this deep-rooted wound, you're gonna be like, you see, I knew I would be rejected again. They're rejecting me. And then it's gonna create anxiety, etc. And maybe this person is not even rejecting you. Maybe like they don't have batteries anymore, or they're in an important meeting or whatever, and they actually truly like did not reject you, but you're gonna be perceiving that because you're living through this lens. So on a psychology level, it is true to say that we are creating our reality because the way we interact with the outer world is directly related to how we feel in the inside and the belief systems that we have in the inside. Now, it gets deeper than that because there's also a spiritual aspect to manifestation. And I feel like a lot of manifestation gurus do talk about this. They say like everything is energy, and they talk about how our thoughts are energy. So when you say I am grateful or I am abundant, you're gonna attract more abundance. And that's why I say like there's some level of truth to it, because yes, our thoughts are energy, and this is how on a spiritual, energetic level we are interacting with reality. So like attracts like. So if you think and believe that you are abundant, you will be attracting more abundance. But the thing is, there's still those core beliefs that are there, and they have way more power than just the words you say or the thoughts you say. Because if you're saying I am abundant, and then there's a core belief underneath that's like I am not abundant, even if you're not fully aware of it and it's still there, you will not be attracting abundance. And that's why like doing these meditations could have an impact to some level, because you're kind of like rewiring the way you're thinking and then slowly rewiring these beliefs, and it could create a tangible change. I feel like there's a component of doing that healing work and really going into these core beliefs to their core and releasing the conditionings and the pain we have around them and the reason why they're there, and really like going to work on a like deeper level. That is often what is missing with all these do this meditation for 21 days. So like it's not so much the words you say or the affirmations you say, it's the feelings that are attached to it, the energy that you attach to it. And that's why I often feel that sometimes it's more easy to attract something negative than something positive, because when we are thinking about something negative, we attach so much emotion to it, so much anxiety, so much stress, and we are kind of wired to imagine the worst case scenarios. So it's kind of easy for us to imagine negative thoughts. And so we believe in it so much that it actually has a lot more power when we think of it than when we're trying to think positive thoughts that we don't fully believe in. So we're not giving so much energy in it. So sometimes if you think one thought of like, I am abundant and yes, I deserve it, and you feel a bit of gratitude and a bit of abundance, but then you think another thought of like, this always happens, I'm never getting what I want. Thinking one for one, but this one you're putting so much energy on it, this one is gonna overpower the other one. So this doesn't mean that there's nothing to do about this. This just means that the healing work here is so important, and getting deeper within this manifestation, because whether you like it or not, as I said before, we are always manifesting, whether it's on an unconscious level or conscious one. And so like lots of my questions to you, if you say like I am abundant, but then there's $0 in your bank account, are you gonna truly feel abundant if you see that $0 in your bank account? If the answer to this is no, then there's something that doesn't feel abundant in you, because the feeling of abundant is not dependent on your external world. And that's where it gets tricky, because sometimes we're like, I'm gonna feel abundant when I see the abundance, when I see the money in the bank account. But it's when we're gonna feel it, when we're gonna believe in it, that we're gonna see it in the external world, because the external world is just a direct reflection of our internal reality. It's like a mirror, just always mirroring back to us. And this is like, the more you dive into this and the more you see this, the more it's just going to be obvious at what level the world is mirroring to you everything. So in order to manifest something consciously, you really have to go to those deep-rooted beliefs that you have around it, and you have to create more of what you want. If you want abundance, like money, feed in your everyday life moments where you actually do feel abundance, because abundance is not just about money. Like, there's spiritual, emotional, physical wealth. And so where can you find more of that in your everyday life? Where can you find more of that love, or more of these things that you actually really desire? And how can you address these core beliefs? How can you do that shadow work and that healing work? Because that's really where it's at. And sometimes you don't even need to consciously think about something to attract it. You just need to be in that resonance with it. So within my healing work, there's so much stuff that I attracted around me that I didn't have to consciously think about. I just was in a resonance that was allowing these things to flow to me in a natural way. And there's other stuff that I'm still working through. I'm still working through my core belief with money. I'm still working through my core belief of like building my own business and stuff. But instead of just saying, I want that, I want that, I want that. And also that when we say, I want X, what you are saying is that I don't have it and I want it. So what are you attracting? You are attracting that you don't have it and you want it. So you're always just going to be in a space where you don't have it and you want it, instead of being like, I have money, I am abundance, and really tapping into that sensation of true abundance. And there's something I heard in the book Conversations with God that is really gonna highlight what I'm talking about right now. And that was the first time I heard that, and I was like, whoa, this is so powerful. So it was talking about money and our core beliefs around money. And you know how, you probably could relate to this, how we have associated, like a lot of people, I included, have associated money with being evil. So there's like this core belief that money makes you greedy, it makes you like run after power, and it makes you a bad person. And so we have associated money with being bad, like money is bad. And then most of us have a core belief that we are good people. Like, even if we think that, oh, I'm not worthy, or I'll be rejected, deep down we're like, I know I'm a good person, you know? So we have a core belief that I know I'm a good person. And we associated money with being bad. So the thing is, we're not in energetic alignment with the energy of money because we believe it as being bad and we believe ourselves as being good. So the only way we could attract it is if we inherently think that we are bad and that the money is bad, or the opposite, that money is good and we could do great stuff out of money and that we are good. I don't think we should change our core belief about ourselves going from good to bad. I think it's the other way around. We should change our core beliefs around money and seeing it as a good thing, and knowing that when it's in the good hands, we could do great stuff out of money. Money is not the problem. It's how people interact with money and the stuff that they have not addressed within themselves. But I found that example really showcases what I'm speaking about, of the energy we're putting out and how we're attracting that within our reality, and it's all based on our beliefs. Now, another layer that's really important to mention is that we're not only manifesting on an individual level, we are manifesting on a collective level. And this is so important to understand, because let's say this is the collective level and then we are just here and we are manifesting on our little individual level. But then there's like millions of little individual people manifesting the reality within this collective reality, and all together we are creating the reality that we know. And not just us that are here now, people that have been here before us have created this reality. So when you are born inside this world, there's already a whole world that's existing, and you are coming here like by default, like a blank canvas, and you are not responsible for all these beliefs and conditionings that were laid upon you. Like, you just absorbed all this information and registered this, and then you have like kind of a concept of reality that is by default. So this is where, when we talk about you can manifest everything you want, there is some limitations, but they're not really limitations. It's more like we are also collectively manifesting our reality. So everything that we are experiencing is not just based on our own work, inner work that we do, because there's a reality out there that we don't have control over, yet we have control over it. Because if we created this reality, imagine if plenty of people just do the inner work, they start reframing and they start seeing the reality a different way, the more and more and more people that are doing that, the more that the collective consciousness and the collective reality is going to be shifting towards that. So we do have a power on a individual level. It's just that it's not because we do the work on the individual level that it's going to be seen right away in our outer reality. So let's say we're not going to change inflation tomorrow just because we change our perception to money. We're not going to be changing the corruption or the violence just because we do that inner work and move towards a different lens of viewing the world. But we do clearly have an impact, and we can't leave this stop ourselves from doing the work and blaming it on the outside because, oh yeah, but I never had any chance to start with because the world is already made like this. So to some level, yes, like we can't control everything, so we can't create our whole reality. Like on the collective level, we can't as an individual change the whole collective reality. But we do sure have so much power that we don't let ourselves believe in. Like we don't give ourselves enough credit for the change we can actually bring within our reality and the reality around us. And the more you do change inside of you, the more you are touching people around you, and the people around you that you touch are going to touch other people, and that's how we create movement. So I'm just talking about this because I also feel like a lot of manifestation gurus are like, if it's not working, it's because you didn't believe hard enough into it and it's your fault. Basically, that's what they're saying. And I feel like that's really not compassionate, and that's really like an energy of blaming, which I don't really believe in. And I think that it's really hard and it takes a lot of courage and a lot of strength to dismantle all these beliefs and conditionings that were never ours to start with. Like, this is not easy work, but it's work that's possible, and we can only look forward and move forward and do the best we can. But like blaming someone and shaming someone for not being where you think they should be, or you doing that to yourself because it's because I don't want it bad enough. No, that's not it. It's because you're undoing so much. You're undoing so much that has already been done by the collective. And that takes an incredible amount of discipline and devotion and willpower. And it's so much easier to live by default. And that's why so much people stay in that paradigm of just like not wanting to wake up in a way. So they just stay in that narrow way of seeing the world, and life is just like that and there's nothing to do about it because it's easier. It takes a lot less effort. Even if they suffer more from it, it takes a lot less effort. And so if you're on this path, if you're watching this video up to now, you are on this path, you are doing everything you can, and that's a lot, okay? And it's not the easiest path, but it's the most rewarding one. So there's a lot to unpack here, and I feel like what is most important is to know that our core beliefs is going to project the world that we see outside of us, and it's always an opportunity to look within. So whatever we are seeing on the outside is based on our perceptions about reality, and those perceptions is based on our beliefs. So if you are seeing lack, if you are seeing pain, if you are seeing frustration, it's a good opportunity to look at what it's meaning inside of you. So every trigger that you have can be an opportunity to go do this actual inner work. And from this place, I feel like the main goal is just to always bring a bit more consciousness, a bit more awareness to how you are creating your reality and how you are manifesting what you are experiencing right now. And I've been manifesting some awesome stuff within my reality, like awesome stuff. And I know that it's coming from what I've been cultivating inside of me, what I've been embodying. I know it's coming from like my whole healing journey and who I'm becoming, and the lens through which I'm perceiving the world and myself is directly impacting what is happening around me. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I'm mind blown. And it's so much deeper than saying affirmations and attracting a car or a guy or this. I don't know. It's so much deeper than that. The level to which we can manifest. And also, I feel like it's important to ask ourselves, like, which aspect of us wants to manifest this? Is it our ego or our desires of wanting to be more worthy or to be more flashy or to prove something to people? Or is it actually our soul's desire? Like, is this what we truly want to manifest? Because I always say, like, be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it. You might just get it, and it's not necessarily going to come in the way that you think it's going to come. So a last example is like, you say, I want to manifest the love of my life. I want us to be in a loving relationship, and up to now you've only had chaotic relationships, and there's a deep core belief that you are unlovable, let's say, or unworthy. And so to be able to be in that meaningful relationship where it actually works, you're going to have to address these beliefs, because you're going to have to be in alignment with this person or this type of relationship. So by saying, I want to manifest this, maybe life is going to bring to you something that's the opposite of that, so that you can do the work to be able to manifest that. So be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it, but you might not know that that's what you have attracted. You've attracted this deeply wounded person within your sphere to see your own wounds, to be able to get to that point. So that's like just all interconnected. Let me know what you think. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and let me know something you've manifested recently in the comments, or anything you would like to add around this subject. I would love to read you. Talk to you soon!